Okay, so it's 1:30. We're going to get started now. Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for ASFR and budget training for forms and live demonstration. So these are our presenters for today. Representing accounting services and financial reporting is myself, Winnie.
Hi everyone, I'm Jenny.
Hi everyone, my name is Nathan.
Hello, I'm Stacy 3.
And my name is Oliver. I'm in budget office. It's with Stacy.
Okay, so this is our agenda for today. So we have the chart request form, accounting services and financial reporting or ASFR forms, research planning and budget forms, and then at the very end, we're going to do a live demonstration. So let's just get right into it. So you can access our forms on our websites respectively, ASFR website and the research planning and budget website. So always remember, please download the latest version of the form, because sometimes we make changes and you always want to use the most up-to-date version so we can process your forms in a timely manner.
So hi everyone, it's me again, Jenny, and let's talk about the job field request form. This form is used to request new job fields, modify, reactivate, or inactivate existing job fields. I'm guessing you guys might be wondering why we have both accounting services and budget show up on this slide. So the reason it is the only form that we share, and because it is depending on which job field is going to be involved, then the form will be sent to the appropriate department for reviewing and processing. So as you can see on the left side, only accounts, fund, program, projects are managed by accounting services, ASFR, and budget's gonna be take care department and class. For example, if the requester wants to inactivate an account, once the requester fill out the job field request form online, the request will be sent to approval, and then after that, the form will be sent to accounting department instead of budget department for reviewing and processing. Next slide, please. Here you can see left side is the setup in Adobe side of actual forms after you access the hyperlink on our website. And on the right side is the actual email you will get after you fill out the requester and department head information. So the screenshots are just for your reference if you might have chance to access our PowerPoints after the training today. Also, depending if we have time today, we might have a demo on how to fill out this form at the end of the presentation. Next slide, please. Again, left screenshots is how the forms look like in Adobe side. Right side is an email you will receive after accounting and budget completely reviews and process the request. Next slide, please. And let's move on to the forms that ASFR process. One of the most popular forms that we take care is expenditure transfer request, ETR. So for ETR, this form is used to correct payments from a purchase order that was set up with the wrong job fields. But if the PO has remaining balance, please submit a change order request form to contracts and procurements. Also used to correct keying errors for travel claim or check requests. Allocate spend between different departments. For example, one department pays for an expense and then they can submit an ETR to get a reimbursement from another department. Also used to build another CSU Fullerton department for facility rental, insurance premium, and so on. Especially also, ETR also used to build auxiliary organizations like ASC, ASI, Philanthropic Foundation by using 7 billable program codes. But please be advised that invoice for billable ETR are usually generated on the 5th business day of the month, unlike the request for invoice RFI, where the invoice is generated on demand. We will go over about the RFI in more detail quickly. Once the ETR is submitted and approved in the ETR app, which is available on our website, accountant will process the ETR in our system, which we call CFS Finance, And then the ETR entries will be posted in OBIE and Titan Inside the next day. So here on the slide, you can see we have the ETR app and how you submit the ETR to us. There is a hyperlink on the slide, also available on accounting website. We are going to be doing a demo on how to submit an ETR at the end. The next couple slides just to show you the screenshot of the section you are going to fill out the form in the ETR app. So here is the requester information. Yes, and transfer information, attach backup, and so on. We will go over later. This is just the resource for you when you submit the ETR. So you can see like the AP voucher, the AP travel. So when you submit the ETR, we refer and recommend try to include as much as the relevant information. Like if you want to submit an ETR to transfer the AP spend from one department to another department, please include the AP voucher number on the reference. This is going to help us when processing, also help you when you look at your report after the ETR is done and the transaction available in Titan Inside. One of the best benefits because like the more backup you submit to us, it's going to be help us to review and process ETR quickly, save time rather than trying to email going back and forth to ask for more information. And this is gonna end my presentation part today. I'm going to transfer to Nathan for the request for invoice.
Hi everyone, this is Nathan and I will go over the request for invoice or RFI form. Basically, RFI is an on-demand request to build auxiliary organizations such as ASC, ASI, or philanthropic foundation, or external customer to recoup an expense or to record non-student revenue. There are two important things to keep in mind. First, do not use RFI to build or recharge another CSUF department. Please submit an ETR that Winnie and Jenny covered earlier for the transaction instead. Second, do not use RFI to build another CSU campuses. You need to initiate an interagency financial transaction or IFT for the transactions. Next slide, please. And this is a complete RFI form. I'm not going to go over every detail, but I just want to emphasize that only ASFR can generate invoice to build external entity, and we cannot create any invoice unless a complete RFI and sufficient supporting document are provided. Once the form is processed, the invoice number will have ASR prefix and follow with 5 numerical digits. Next slide, please. This slide provides all of the information that we are looking for when we process your RFI. There are two important things that we want to highlight here. First, a valid PO number is required when you need to build auxiliary organization, because without a valid PO, the auxiliary will dispute the invoice. Second, please provide sufficient supporting document, for example, Titan Insight to show the actual expense or any contract agreement or any backup that you feel may be relevant for the billing. We needed information to verify the correct track field and the billing amount for the request. When the request has been complete with authorized signature and sufficient supporting document, please submit to us through dlasfr@fullerton.edu. Next slide, please. Moving on is the deposit and reimbursement to the university account form. We have two forms for this category. One is for the regular deposit and the other one that indicate PCD is only used for procurement or P-card reimbursement. Next slide, please. This is an example of the regular deposit form. Please indicate the appropriate CASNet item code on section 4. Basically, the CASNet item code is mapped to a char field string, and your fund will be deposited in there. When you download the form from our website, there is a CASNet item code tab that you can refer to determine the appropriate item code for your account. If you can find any specific account on that list for your deposit, please use CASNet item code 84000. This is a miscellaneous item code to deposit to 580090. Once the deposit is completed, submit another ETR to transfer the fund from 580090 to the correct account. On the left side of the screen are some of the commonly used CANES item code. Next slide, please. Oh, by the way, I have one more important thing that I want to emphasize is sometimes the customer make out a check directly to your department to pay for an ASR invoice. Please don't deposit that check using the deposit form. Just send a check to the cashier office and indicate the invoice number. The cashier office will take care of it. For this form, as I mentioned earlier, this form is only used for procurement card or P-card reimbursement. The only CASNet item code for this form is S7050, which is mapped to account 660898, P-card expense record reimbursement. Basically, when you use the P-card by accident to pay for a personal expense, for example, travel expense that have alcohol content, and the P-card transaction already paused in Concur, you will need to refund the money to the university account, and this form is served for that purpose. If you have any question regarding on any ASFR form, please feel free to direct your inquiry to the ASFR, and we will assist you. With that, I will transfer to Budget Office for PTR and PET form.
Hello, everyone. This is Stacy Threet here with the Resource Planning and Budget Department. And I'm going to give a quick overview of our forms and their benefits. Next slide, please. And next slide, please. Moving into the approval workflow, the system lets you track the status of requests in real time, both for the PETs and BTR forms. You can also generate ad hoc reports and receive email confirmation, so nothing gets lost in the approval process. Each approval step verifies fiscal authority, so it ensures only authorized personnel can approve the transactions. And finally, the workflow allows for data validation edits, catching errors before approvals are finalized. And this just prevents any downstream issues and supports accurate financial reporting. Next slide, please. For uploading data in each form, the PTAM form allows users to pull data directly from the form. So we generally say that using the live form is easier than uploading, and then vice versa for the BTR form, uploading is easier. Next slide, please. Moving into PT tips and tricks. The nice thing about the PTAM form is that the form automatically pulls from labor cost distribution. So that means the data is accurate from the start and you don't have to manually re-enter any information. So that helps reduce any errors and saves time. So right after you enter that CHRS ID, it'll auto-populate all the data from closed periods. For split transfers, when you're doing those, the system automatically generates that balancing line for you and the remaining percentage. So again, less manual entry for you and fewer chances of miscalculations. So that really streamlines the process. And another feature of the form is more direct communication between DOA and our office, including a clear purpose and good supporting documentation helps the approvers in our office understand why the transaction is being made, and it's easier to catch and correct any funding issues early. Finally, case IDs for tracking. If something is submitted in error, that case ID helps the budget office find it, reroute it, deny it for correction. So that makes the whole process much smoother. I'll hand it over to Oliver for some final points on our BTR form.
Thanks, Stacey. I apologize. I think like when reviewing the slides, I realized that I had neglected to include any information on what exactly is a PET or payroll expenditure transfer and what is a BTR. So briefly, Stacey, could you tell me tell us what a PET is for?
Yeah, so for PT, you're going to be transferring just payroll expenditures. So anything related to paychecks, and that will be auto-populated in the AEM form. And that so just related to anything paycheck related.
Thank you so much. Thanks for covering for me there.
Mhm.
Yeah, so by contrast, a BTR or a budget transfer request form is your request to the budget office to transfer budget between chart fields, between different departments or cost centers, or to transfer budget that you have in a particular account line to be repurposed for another line. Like the forms delivered by ASFR, both the PET form and a BTR form can be found on the budget website. Some tips and tricks to help you understand the BTR form a little bit better. The BTR, similar to the payroll expenditure transfers, and the are reviewed for certain reporting and budgetary requirements. I think my colleague Stacy had alluded to that earlier with the PET forms and the desire to include as much detailed information as far as the purpose. Similarly, it would assist our office and indeed, but probably the approvers local to the department and within the college or subdivision to understand what exactly the budget transfer is trying to do. But they are, at least on the budget side, on the budget office side, reviewed to ensure things like if there is a transfer of kind of general operating equipment or operating expense budget, and it's repurposed to fund salaries, that there is a contribution to the benefit pool if it's kind of on the state side. Alternatively, if you are using funds dedicated to the Student Success Initiative. The Student Success Initiative, as you know, is a student fee approved by students for very specific purposes and as part of the kind of transparency to students and as part of the desire to ensure that those resources are dedicated to the purposes that students have voted for. Well, for these fees, like they have a program code to describe what the budget is allocated for. So that's sort of another thing that our office reviews as well. And again, emphasizing the desire to put descriptions to be as descriptive as possible in your request to assist our office, to assist like the whoever in your area is reviewing these, like the manager or the dean or whomever is responsible for these funds, to understand what the budget request is for. One thing, if you are experiencing any issues with the upload form, please make sure that the file name is not changed. The form is a little picky in that regard. Also, there's requirements within the file as far as character length and character composition. But if there's any kind of issue that way, feel free to shoot over an email to the budget office, and we can do some analysis to ensure the file is acceptable to our system. And lastly, any base budget transfer needs to be approved by really a handful of individuals within the campus community. These are divisional financial managers. As you know, there's a base budget that is budgetary information that travels from year to year. So if you understand your base ongoing budget for your department is, say, like $350,000, that base budget travels from this year, 2025, to next year, 2026. You can make one-time adjustments to that base budget. So reducing that budget perhaps by $25,000, but in the following year pops back up to the $350,000. The fact that we require the base budgets are reviewed by divisional managers kind of emphasizes the really just the critical nature of base transfers. This is something that you know affects your area, your department, persisting from year to year. And with that, next slide.
Thank you, Oliver. So this slide is just kind of like giving you like a general guideline to our processing times for these specific forms. Of course, if there's like anything we need more clarification on, then it might take a little bit longer, but this is just general guideline for how long it'll take for those forms to be processed. Okay, so we have one last training in the session between this collaboration with ASFR and budget next week, next Thursday. We're going to be going with 10 insights reports, and we'll also be doing a demo. So feel free to join us next week. So thank you. Here's our subscribe to accounting updates button, like usual, and you can submit an inquiry form to resource planning and budget as well. Stick around if you want to see our live demonstration, which we're going to start shortly. Just wanted to point out that we have an appendix at the end of our slides for like examples and scenarios of ASFR forms. We made these a long time ago, so we just rolled them forward. We're not going to go over them. We're just going to include this when we send out the slides later for your convenience. Okay, so let's see. So I believe Stacy will be going first with the PET live demo. So like just really quickly, this is resource planning and budget's website. So this is where all the forms are. So I'm gonna stop the share. I'm gonna hand it over to Stacy now.
Perfect. All right. So I will start sharing here. There we go. Okay. You can all see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so first I'm just gonna show you where the form is in a couple different ways. A couple ways is through here, through the AM form here. So you can just type in payroll and it pops in through the bottom here. And that will just go ahead and launch the form. I just do this in the beginning of my demos just in case there's anyone new looking into doing PT. And another way is through our website. So this is our homepage here. And you would just click Services, Forms, and Policies. And then Forms. And that'll both show that BTR transfer request and the payroll transfer, and that'll show here. There's also some PT resources here, and this has our deadline calendar for both the BTRs and PTs. So if you want just an overview, a look of like all of the deadlines, those are listed out here. So then you can go in from there and click that button. That would launch the form as well. So here's where we'll end up. And the first thing is that it'll just auto-populate that case ID. That'll be new. And what you'll do is you'll go ahead and reference the division you're working with. I'm just going to go ahead and say academic affairs for now. And then I'll enter a CHRS ID. And then what that's going to do is it will pull all charge periods related to the CHRS ID. I'm just going to go ahead and choose that first one. And looks like that's the only paycheck associated with that charge period. So it looks like it just auto-populated everything there. So what it populates is that paycheck number, employee record number, position, their name, and then the credit and debit line. So what it does is it just copies that credit line into the debit line, and you can go ahead and adjust the debit line according to what you need to transfer to. And then as well as you'll add that percentage to transfer. So you'll go here, let's just say I want to transfer 100%. And when I press tab, it just automatically applies that percentage to the total charged amount. And let's just say I want to add a program code. And this specifically 7806, it's helpful to have like a PO number for folks in accounting. So if you have that, you can include that in the purpose. For the permanent funding change, this just communicates to our office if this is an ongoing permanent change or if it's just a one-time change. So this is just going to be a one-time change, so I'm going to just say no. This transfer amount benefits is just taking the paycheck and all of the associated taxes and benefits and adding them up into this line here. And so what it'll do is you'll have your list of approvers here. So you'll just go ahead and select based on who you want. And what you can do is just validate transfer data, and it'll show here. If there are any errors, it'll show you what the error is specifically at the bottom. And then it also tells you the total transfer amount. So if you had multiple lines that you were transferring, it'll tell you the total amount of transfers for that PT. Another additional thing is this add attachment feature. So you can add up to 2 documents in here. And then as well as generate a PDF of that. So once I click on that, it'll just download it here. And that'll give me a view. But as soon as you submit, it also emails you that PDF as well. If you have a PT you're working on for multiple lines, the form I've noticed can time out. So what I recommend for the multiple lines is to press save every so often. And I would say the form works with generally 25 to 30 lines for best capability before it starts slowing down. So that's how I'd break it up by pressing save. After you're done, you can also move to the signature and acknowledgement section. Once you press here, it'll fill in your name and the date. You'll add in the purpose for the transfer. And then once you hit submit, that'll go to that DOA approver. Another capability I wanted to highlight here is that split transfer feature. So if I just wanted, let's say I could put in like 23, like a random percentage number here. It will take that and then auto populate the rest of the percent of the total amount here. So if you had, I notice for student assistance, you only want a certain percentage going to federal work study. You would do that, and then the rest of that line will stay with the student assistant. And then when you validate for like student assistant to federal work study, I just wanted to highlight that it'll come up with a warning message that debit and credit accounts are different, you can just ignore this warning message because we know that federal work study and student assistant are normal transfers. And I believe that that is all. Does anyone have any questions?
Not so much a question, Stacy, but like I was thinking actually when you had talked about the attachments that were for those areas that especially do a lot of these, like it's kind of nice to have that feature to be able to look back and remind like why exactly we did the payroll expenditure transfer. Um, and are these saved in any place? Do you know?
Definitely, yeah. So each PT is saved in our platform called OnBase, and through Case ID function, we can actually search and find any PT that was submitted, as well as the supporting documentation. So if we need to look back for any reason to look into something, we can find that information. So yeah, that supporting documentation and the purpose for the transfer really helps just kind of have like a trail of what's happened over the years as well. Any other questions? All right. I think counting, do you have the next demo, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I guess I'll hand off to you. And if you guys do end up having any questions or to go offline, you can always email me. And yeah, we can discuss together. Thank you.
Thank you, Stacy and Oliver. Okay, so we're going to do a live demo on the ETR app. If you have any questions for ASFR while I'm doing this, go ahead and just type it in. I have the whole team on the on the meeting, so they can work on that while I am showing you the steps. So this is the ASFR website. We're filtered down to the forms here. So you can just access the ETR app from here. Okay, so this is the login page. So you're gonna use your normal credentials like you do to log into your laptop. Don't put @fullerton.edu. I think that causes issues. So just go ahead and type in your password and click login. So the division's IT made this very, very nice app for us for ETRs. So this is the first page you're gonna see once you log in. You're gonna have your login information here. You can log off here if you need to. The user toolbox. There's instruction materials here. It's gonna take you directly to our website, to the ETR information, and it's right under here. There's all these user guides like screen steps. And IT also made some videos for you if you want to follow them at your own pace. But going back, so this is the ETR app. This is actually the new request. If you click new request, this is your new request. You land here by default. You don't have to stay here. You have all these other options here. So once you're logged in, it's automatically going to default to what your department is, your email, and your extension. So anything that has an asterisk on it, that means those are required in order to continue. Otherwise, it's not going to let you create an ETR. So this field here, optional CC email address, is so basically you will be you'll be in the loop on your ETR, your expenditure transfer request. As the requester, your approver will be in the loop. But say you have, someone you want to include that is, instead of just, forwarding the information separately, you could kind of have them included here. So you just kind of just put their email address here if you know it. You want more than one person, no problem. Put semicolon, no space, and then just go ahead and put the next person's address. Just like that. So the reason we request is this is very important. This is a required field, but this is very important. It's very important for us so we know why you're submitting the ETR. And I think it's a little important for you guys too. So when you're looking at your old ETRs, you're like, why did I do this? And you're like, oh, that's why I did it. So do it for us, but also do it for you. So like for example, like say you have to add a program code or a class code, you put something like add program code to travel expense, something like that. Okay, so it's gonna automatically put its digital signature here. You can't change it. Change the date. You can't change your signature. Okay, approvers departments area. This section right here. So for this scenario, like if you're adding a program code to travel expense, so the department for that is, if it's your travel expense, it's probably your department. So you would just put in your department. In my case, it's 105 for ASFR, and it's gonna refresh real quick. And then when you click here, it's gonna give you the available options for your approver for if your scenario was something like move like maybe like general supplies 60825 expense from my department 105 to like say example AP's department, okay, 106. In that scenario, you wouldn't be using 105, your department, it'll be whoever is receiving the expense, like which department is receiving the expense, they should be the ones approving for it. So in this case, it would not be Lynn or Michael, it would be someone in AP. Well, Michael is still here, our controller is still here, but it would be someone else, whichever department is receiving the expense, they're the ones who should be approving it, okay? Request or comment here, this is an optional field. You can feel free to put, anything that you think is, important here for yourself, for your approver, for us, just an optional field for you guys. So once you're done filling this out, like you can't go to either of these tabs. You have to first create your request by saving. It's not gonna let you go to either of those until that. So you would save it here, or if you like, you know what, I don't need this ETR after all, you can click cancel request. And if you want to just start over, like, hey, I just really quickly to clear it up, you could just do clear fields if if you just want to start over from scratch. I've actually pre-prepared a request, so I'm just gonna go ahead and clear this. And so bonus, so we get to go look at search reports in user toolbox. It's also under my draft request actually. So oops. Not that one. My draft request. So I created it earlier today, so we'd have this ready for the demo, but I'll just show you how to use search reports. If you know like the request ID or any of these criteria, you can look it up. It's 4280. You can put 4280 here, or you could like go by the requester, me. So you do date. There's like various search options here. So you click search, and there it is. This is the one for testing. So I'm just gonna click this red pencil to edit. If you want, you could also copy your request and just edit it. But I'm gonna go ahead and edit. So transfer information, we can access this now. So we're gonna do this based on this scenario. Move 6601 postage expenses from department 105, that's my department, to account table 106. Not really gonna do it, just an example. I have here data pulled down from Titan Insights. So this is gonna be kind of like my guide to how I'm going to fill it out, really. Oops. So you could do it manually, like one by one. Hold on, I need to put this on a different screen. So you could do this manually one by one. So you go, okay, I have 6601 postage and freight, defund, and it's from my department. Line description. So Jenny went over some of the examples for what you want to put in for line description and reference. More information, the better, so it's, very clear what transaction is being transferred and so on. Please note, there's 30 character limit for line description, including spaces, and 10 character limit for references. So I'm just gonna put for line description, this is an AP voucher. I'm gonna put the customer and I'm gonna put the DP number. And reference, I'm gonna put the journal ID 82117 and the amount. This one is $9.43. So I'm moving it from my department to a different department. I'm going to credit or put credit the amount. So the expense was $9.43. I'm gonna put minus $9.43. So you're gonna click add. Okay, so that's one line. You're gonna see up here it says balance is not balanced and total is negative $9.43. So this is very important. Your ETR always has to balance, which means it always has to, the total always is zero or nets to zero, basically. So if it's negative $9.43, you can't submit it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the other side, like the debit side, the positive number. So I'm moving it to AP. Sorry, AP. So positive $9.43 and add. So now we're balanced and the total is zero. Now you're okay to submit this basically. So this part just kind of retains the information from the last line you entered. If you want to change it, add a radically different thing and you don't want to manually change all these, you just click clear drop down and it'll reset all these so you can start over new. Important thing to note is that we have some combo edits here. So if you're using certain like funds or department, there are specifications. For example, if you were to use fund SSFGF, that always has to have a program H1. If you don't, it's not gonna let you. So for example, I'm just gonna put something random in here. It's not gonna let you add it. Oh, yeah, there's a bunch of these little pop-ups basically like if I'll put like $10. If like it's incomplete, it's gonna give you like a pop-up say, hey, you need to complete this part. So as it says, program code 8100 to 8106 is required for fund SSFGF, TNRM2, and expense account. So yeah, it's not gonna let you include that. So that's one way to enter the lines for ETR. If you have like a lot of lines, you don't want to do this one by one manually. So there is a way up here at the top, download template. If you click it, it's gonna give you an Excel file where you can, I already pre-prepared this one, but an Excel file, an ETR upload template. So you just do the same thing. You put count, fund, department, program, class, project, if you have those, line description, reference, and amounts. Okay, so that's what this looks like. So you would just go down here. Once you prepared it, you click choose file, click your file, open, and click upload. Okay, so it's added it. So if you already had lines in there and you upload, it doesn't override it, it adds to it, okay? So right now I technically have duplicate lines. You can easily just click here to delete or click here to edit. So I'm just gonna delete those. And you're gonna see that I'm unbalanced again. So delete one more time. And there you go. That's how you do an Excel upload to fill out the lines for your ETR. You also just click this button if you want to delete all the transfer lines. That's up to you. And last of all, you're gonna go to attach backups. All ETRs, you have to have at least one supporting document. For most scenarios, it's gonna be an OBIE or Tenant Insights actuals detail report. Please make sure it's an actuals detail report, not a revenue expense summary, not a budget report, an actuals detail report. So I have mine here that I got from Tenant Insights. So this is kind of what it looks like. So you could download from, currently you can download from OBIE or Tenant Insights, but OBIE is, I think, being phased out later on. So start using Tenant Insights and get used to it. So you just click choose file and you just kind of upload it and click save file. And then there you go. You can attach as many backup as you want. If you think it's relevant, go ahead and add it. So that's how it is. Even though it's earlier, there was no submit button because you're missing some components to your ETR, but now you can submit if you want to. Right now it says status is draft. So that's basically how you complete ETR. You can see all your drafts here. And if you're an approver, you can go to this page, approve decline, and this should be all the ETRs that are waiting for your approval. So you can approve or decline it. And so that basically covers our ETRs. Do we have questions? I'm gonna stop the share. Okay, so what we have is
I think Oliver's trying to answer some of them that he knows.
Don't listen to me. I'm batting zero at this point.
And Lynn too. But we could reiterate. So I know people were asking if these trainings were recorded. We haven't been recording them because they've been a little bit more casual in the sense that they're demonstrating, you get to ask questions and engage. But we do plan on having future trainings where they'll be more organized and recorded, and we'll be posting those and sharing those on our YouTube channel. But I think one of the questions that Lynn answered said, is new fuels account 605,003 for facilities fleet use? Will UPD gas charges show up on that account soon, or will they stay in miscellaneous fleet 660852? And Lynn answered, both accounts should be used in fiscal year 2025. Jenny, have we started using the 605003 for FLT chargebacks? Jenny, do you want to?
She put a thumbs up, so yeah, I think we've started already for this fiscal year. I'm including some links to some video trainings that IT has filmed for the ETR apps. Like we did meticulously go over those with IT, so hopefully those would be helpful for the folks that are joining us. But we still have about 10 minutes if we want to continue going. We still have potentially a BTR demonstration or a traffic request form demonstration if people are interested in that.
I'm not seeing any others.
I actually have a question, Winnie.
Yes.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
It's 5:19 a.m. here. So how do we know that ASFR has processed the ETR? How will the departments know? That the journal ID, how do they know that process? How will they know that it's been processed and it's going to be an OBIE the following day? I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice.
I think they should be able to see it in the ETR app. I think they also receive an email from us.
Yeah, once you click the once the ASFR process it with the journal ID and then the final approver, the ASFR approver, it's the post close, and then it will generate an email to the departments. It will show them the journal ID, and then technically when that happens the following day, it should show up in OBIE. Sorry, I'm answering my own question.
OBIE and Tight Insights. Yes.
Or Titan Insights, yes.
Yeah.
So but that's the final process, and then
it's gonna be moved from the pending to the closed section in the ETR app, something like that. Yeah.
Thank you for your question.
An answer.
Yes, thank you for your answer. So we still have like 10 minutes. We can really quickly just show you the chart for request form. Not gonna get too into it. Where's my share? Okay, so going back to our forms page. So this is ASFR's page, and this is budget's page. So like Jenny said earlier, we share this chart for request form, so it's gonna be on both of ours. So you don't need to like find the right page, as long as it's an ASFR page or a budget page. So just click it. You're gonna log in. Oops, I changed my password. Okay, you're gonna log in, and this is the page you're gonna see. So you're gonna select one of these action. Well, it's a select action. You're gonna select one, select one of these radio buttons, like if it's account, class, department, fund, program, project. So I'm just gonna put account. It's gonna, I don't know why it does that. It wipes out your, you're gonna put your own email address for requester. You're gonna put your department division head for approval. Their email address. If you don't know their email address, you can hit the search button, and you can search by their CWID or by their name. Let's Lynn. Oh, there's a lot of Lynn's. This one. But you can search your own too, but I hope you know your own email address. So click submit form for a signature. Wait for it to load. Okay, so it says submission confirmation page. So you're not done. You're gonna get an email. So you can actually go to the Adobe sign. Let me show you what it looks like. So this is your email. You're gonna click review and sign. And then it's gonna load for you. And every tracker request has a form. They're not all identical. So this is just the one that looks up for account. The one for program looks a little different. So everything with red asterisk, you have to complete that. And that's just basically it. Yeah, that's basically it. Once it is, so once you submit it, it's gonna go to your approver. Once your approver signs off on it, it's gonna be routed to budget operations for approval, or accounting services for approval if it's a department or class. And then goes to the other department, budget, or accounting services in order to approve and create. So yeah, there's kind of a workflow here. Once whoever, for example, for account, once ASFR has completely processed your travel request form, you're gonna get an email address saying it's been completed, and it's gonna have this form for your records. So you'll have, like, if you were adding a new chart field request form, you're gonna find a new account chart field down here. Basically, we're gonna put it down here, so that's how you know what your new chart field is. And that's it for chart field request form.
Winnie, where can I
Yes.
find the list of chart fields?
List of chart fields should be on our website.
Titan Online, FIS
Oh,
resources.
that one,
Can
the
you pull that
FIS
up and
resources.
show it to them? Yeah, so that
Yes. Give me one
thank
sec.
you. And then maybe we could also show them the commonly used accounts on our website, where to find those.
Okay. So if you want like a list of the chart fields, like you log in to the Titan portal like normal. You go to this section here. It's gonna be called FIS resources. You click here. So you can get like all the accounts, all the funds, the prime ID, program, class, project. So when you click this, it's gonna give you, oops. So these are all your accounts basically. There's a lot of accounts. There's a lot of accounts. So you could do that for any of these chart fields. ASFR on our website, we have, let's see, service. We have a list of commonly used accounts. Just, just so you don't have to go through that whole list. There's like what? Over 1,000 accounts. So we have a PDF form, we have an Excel form that makes it easier for you, but these are some of the most frequently used expense accounts, just, for your benefit here. So if you're like, oh, what's honorarium? What's postage and freight? And so on. It's kind of broken up in categories, accreditation fees. I think we also have, yeah, there's the Excel one. We have combos too, right?
Yes.
Here.
Department fund combos.
It's here. No. Where did I put it?
Service providers. Go to service providers.
Service provider.
Yeah. Service providers. And then it should be theirs, I think.
Department fund combo edits.
Yeah, so this will give you a list of funds that are allowed for each department.
So yeah, like we said, SFGF, you always need program code 8100 or 810, anything between 8100 to 8107. So yeah, so these are some combos for you. It's a very long list, so yeah. It's on our website, so feel free to consult that. Okay.
I think okay. Okay.
Okay, so we got 3 minutes left. Anyone have any more questions or anything they want to add?
Just want to not a question, but just thank you for kind of facilitating and being the MC here. Great job.
Thank you.
Second
I don't know
that.
Yes.
I don't know if does anybody want to plug anything?
Next week.
We have Thai Insights training next week. I think we also have the study abroad.
Coming soon.
Yep.
Next month, I think.
Is it November?
I think November. Might
I
be.
think they're all available on our the website.
Financial services
yes.
Training. Yeah. Yes. Thank you to the team for doing the trainings while I'm away from the office.
I think procurement's got something exciting coming up.
Look at
right?
you, Lynn,
Yeah,
still
we have a minute left.
joining across the country.
Across the world.
Yeah, across the world.
Yeah, so we only have 1 minute left, but as I mentioned in the past, right, P2P is coming, which is something major. I just wanted to give you guys a quick glance at what the system looks like.
Yes.
I don't know if you're seeing my screen.
Yes, we see your screen.
Okay, so just I know we have a minute left, but I just want to let you know that P2P is coming. It's going to be our new method of purchasing, our new system. We're in a test environment right now, but we're starting to have trainings. We are starting to engage. You're probably being contacted by project lead on this, Caroline Lee. She's doing a great job in, of course, gathering everybody so that we could start having these trainings and personal demonstrations of the system. But it's pretty intuitive. It's pretty cool. There's so many tools in here that we have available tools that we do not have in PeopleSoft, let's say, for example. So for example, requisitions. One thing that I've said in some samples or trainings that I've done, that there's no secrets in P2P. When we say that is that in requisitions, I'll just give you a quick glance. When I click on a requisition, you get to see the whole history of what transpired with this requisition from cradle to grave. You also get to see the workflow in PeopleSoft versus now P2P. You get to see where your requisition at, what stage of the review process is it being hung up on, where's the bottleneck, and then the cool thing about this is that you could communicate with each workflow group individuals and say, hey, are you missing something from me? What could I do to get this moving? And it all resides here from cradle to grave of what's transpired with this requisition. You get to see all kinds of summaries associated with it. So more training is coming, more cool things about this system are being shared. So all I ask is that you look out for those emails and sign up for those trainings because we're gonna definitely do some customized show and tell for you guys.
Thank you,
Questions?
Alex.
Thank you, Winnie.
Geez, it looks like Mr. Rosales, like if someone's needs to contact Oliver because he hasn't processed something, it's
All
all
right.
right there.
It's
Yeah.
all right there, yes. And like I said, you get to also communicate with those workflow individuals, right? And then you get to see a requisition move forward. The cool thing about the system too, that there's a plethora of ways of finding your status of your requisition, not just by a rec number, but you could look it up by supplier ID or vendor, commodity code. The system's intuitive that it does a global search in other platforms to get you your information. So again, more to come. I took in enough time, let me know. Any questions with the system, by the way?
I'm just excited to see it live when it gets here.
Perfect.
So yeah, everyone join the PTP trainings, join our
Yes.
Tight Insights training next week, and join our Study Abroad trainings. Collect them all. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you,
Thank
Winnie.
you.